after. There we are. So the recording's kicked off. So if you want to do it yourself afterwards, anytime you can. So let's come to a comfortable seated position. Oh, I didn't mute you. So you know the procedure. If you need to speak to me, just press your space bar, or if you just want to quickly speak, or click on the unmute, and then you'll be able to talk to me. So only do what's right for you. And if at any time you want to just come down to the mat to child's, then do that. I have put a few child's poses in this week, so there's plenty of opportunity, especially when we come to do the flow-in section. So come and sit in a nice upright position. So we always say this to get our breath flowing. So not slouching, not creating any tension anywhere in the body, just finding a comfortable seat. So if sitting cross-legged is not comfortable for you, then put your legs out in front of you. Do whatever is right. So I want you to feel that you're letting go of any tension. And your hands can just rest in your lap. They can rest on your thighs. Relax the shoulders. Just take a few moments here to let go. And close your eyes. So we're just going to sit here and focus on our breath. Sitting and connecting to your breath. Just allow it to settle, allow it to find its normal pattern. And just see if you can take this time to go inwards. Just observing the breath. When we talk about our 8 limbs of yoga, we mention pratyahara, and pratyahara is withdrawal of the senses, going inwards. So just focusing on the breath, noticing what's happening in your body as you breathe. And noticing if you're holding any tension. Just see if you can use that out breath to let go. And then taking a deep breath in through the nose. Really expand the lungs, feel the diaphragm descend. And as you breathe out, I want you to breathe out through pursed lips like it's a straw. Let go of every last drop. Breathing in once more, in through the nose. Out through the pursed lips. Last time, breathing in. Same out breath. Just sit and breathe normally. And just notice what that's done to your breath and your body. When we talk about our breath, we often say about taking a deep breath in, filling the lungs, but the reality is the out breath is the most important one. That's the one that we need to make the space in the body. So focusing on the out breath and letting go allows us to take that nice deep breath in. So with your next out breath, just drop your chin to your chest. Keep your shoulders down and relaxed. Blink your eyes open and lift your head. Welcome to class. So let's get some movements. Let's come up onto all fours and have your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Take a little glance back. Make sure you can't see your toes. So keep them in line with your knees. And we'll just do 3 cat-cows here. So take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, round through the spine. So push the mat away, drop the crown of the head, really arching through the back. Breathe in, breathe out, starting to tilt the pelvis, creating that dip in the spine. Lead with your chin and your chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together as you breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out, round the spine. Push that mat away. Really work into the spine. Just easing into the body. You're opening it up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Tilt the pelvis. Let that ripple through the spine as your shoulder blades come together and you gaze forward at the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Round the back. Cat pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Cow pose. Breathe in and come back to all fours. So taking a breath in here, engage your tummy muscles, your gaze is down to the mat. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, release your right hand forward, your left leg back. Reaching through the fingertips, the toes. Breathing in. Breathing out. Draw the right elbow to the left knee and round the spine. So it's a little bit of a balance. Breathing in, reach. Breathing out, elbow to knee. Once more, breathe in and reach. Breathe out, elbow to knee. Place your right hand down, place your left knee down. Let's do the same on the other side. So engage your tummy muscles, get that balance, take a breath in, left hand forward, right leg back. Really reach as if you're trying to touch your fingers on the wall in front of you and your toes to the wall behind. And then breathing out, draw the elbow to the knee. Breathe in and reach. Breathe out, elbow to knee. Once more, breathe in and reach. That's it, brilliant. Breathe out, elbow to knee. Breathing in, place your hand and your knee back on the mat. And then we're going to sit back on to our toes. So when we come into this position, it can feel a little bit uncomfortable. So do what's right for you, but it's a great toe stretch. So I like to really work into my toes and then place my knees down. But if this is really not accessible, you can put your block under your hip. You can put a blanket under there as well. So just do what's right for you. So we're just going to rotate our wrists, just release our wrists before we do any of our flowing movements, our salutations, and rotate in the other direction. And this will take your mind off that toe stretch as well. And then we're going to do something that I discovered just recently, releasing your fingers. So we're going to grab hold of the thumb on the other hand. I'm going to come to the screen to show you. I am still stretching my toes, so I'm not cheating. So I'm going to grab hold of my thumb and I'm really going to wiggle. I'm going to really try and let go of my thumb. So as I'm pulling and wiggling, and then I'm going to do the same with the fingers. I'm going to work my way through the hand. And as you do it, you'll start to feel that you're releasing not only the hand, you'll feel something happening here in the lower arm. And then the more you do it, it'll even start releasing up here into the triceps area. So this movement releases tension all the way up the arm, even to the shoulders. So don't be frightened to do this wiggling. Really give it a good release. And what I should have done with you first, and I'll do it on the other hand, is show you how tense your fingers feel when you start and how loose they feel after. So working our way all the way to the little finger, and then just release. I'll go back, so we're going to do the same on the other side. And this time, just clench your fist on your right side, or the one that you haven't done, and notice that they feel a little bit tense, and then release the other hand. So really giving it a shake, get into that joint and all the ligaments and let them flow. Feel that movement going all the way. You might get some clicks at the arm. So obviously this is a simple thing that we can do at any time. I just sat doing nothing, or watching the telly. Another job to do, watching the telly. And then go all the way to the little finger. Let go. And now just move your fingers. They do feel freer, don't they? So, okay, so let's release those toes and get our feet out in front of us. Now we're going to do the same with our toes. So you're going to grab your big toe and you're really going to release that big toe and move all the way along the foot. So the next toe. And the video that I saw somebody doing this, their toes, they were bending them right over, like just like our fingers bend. So just releasing them like this. It's really good. It's good for your stability of your foot. So as we get older, and we don't want to be tripping up because our feet start to get stiff and they're not as flexible as they were. And therefore, when we put our foot down on the floor, we don't stand in the way that we should. This is really good to prevent that. So swap over. And again, you could do that little test with your toe to feel how your toes feel before you release them. Get into the big toe joint. And you'll notice as you're wiggling the toes that you will start to get feelings up into the back of the shin area. It seems to go at the back of the leg more. And in the video I watched, it said that this can release up as high as your hips. So amazing. Because it's all ligaments and, you know, muscles and nerves and all of that we're just freeing up. Okay, so once you've done all your toes, come back to an all fours position. Just going to do a little bit of movement now and see how our body is feeling. So from all fours, excuse me, toes into the mat, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just lift your hips and walk your feet towards your hands. So we're coming into our first Uttanasana. Our legs won't be anywhere near straight. Just have that bend as you drop the head towards the mat. Just be kind with your body. It's more important to think about lifting the hips than getting the legs straight. So just think about that movement, just that little lift of the hips. And then taking a breath in, slide the hands up to the shins, find a half forward fold, nice flat back. Breathing in, breathing out, and bring yourself up to Tadasana. Standing in Tadasana for a moment. Hands at the heart center. Just taking a breath. Relax your shoulders. And then let's get a little bit of movement in. So taking a breath in, hands out wide, reach up and overhead. Take your gaze to your palms. Breathing in, breathing out. Take the hands out wide, dive all the way down to the mat. Uttanasana is already feeling a little bit better. Breathing in, slide your hands up to your shins, half forward fold. Take a breath in here. Breathe out, hands back to the mat. Back into our Uttanasana. Take your hands out wide. Breathing in, coming up with a strong straight spine. Reach up. Hands up and overhead, breathing out, hands to the heart center. So just a little mini flow just to get going. We're going to do that again. Breathing in, hands out wide, reach up and overhead. Breathing out, take them out wide as you dive all the way down to the mat. Into our forward fold. Breathing in, slide them up to your shins, half forward fold. Breathing out, diving down to the mat. You might get your fingertips or your hands to the mat. Your legs are coming a little bit straighter now. Breathing in, take the hands out wide, coming up with a strong straight spine. Breathing in as you reach, breathing out. Hands to the heart center. Take a moment here. Let everything settle. We're going to go again. We're going to add some things on. So take a breath in, reaching up and overhead. Take your gaze to your palms. As you breathe out, mini back bend. Your palms can come together. Breathing in, back to center. Breathing out, hands out wide, dive all the way down to the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathing in, hands to shins. Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Breathing out, plant your hands down on the mat, so bend your knees so that you can do that, and step right leg, then left leg back into downward facing dog. It's our first one, so let's have a little walk with the feet. Easing one heel, then the other, down towards the mat. And then send both the heels towards the mat. So just trying to find our down dog. Your ears are in line with your inner arms. Take a breath here. And then come up onto your toes and really press those toes into the mat. Pressing all 10 toes as you've lifted your heels away from the mat. Toes that we've freed up. And then as you breathe out, swivel to the left and drop the heels so the feet are now tracking one behind the other. Take a breath here. And then breathing in, come back up, pushing the toes into the mat. Breathing out, swivel to the right. Just Having the feet tracking behind each other. And then breathing in. Come back to center and release the heels towards the mat. And then sending the weight into the left foot. Breathing out, send the right leg up into the air. Three-legged dog. Breathing in as you shift the weight forward. Draw the knee up to your chest or drop your left knee to help you as we step forward into this lunge. So the right knee is bent. Just take a moment here. Drop the left knee. We're in a low lunge. Take a breath in. Float your hands up alongside your ears. Reach to the ceiling. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands back to the mat. Breathing in. Breathing out. Release that leg back into downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, walk your feet all the way back to your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold. Drop the head. Breathing in, hands to the shins. Breathing out, hands back to the mat. Breathing in, hands out wide. Engage your tummy muscles as you come up with a strong, straight spine. Reaching up and overhead. Breathing out, hands to the heart center. Well done. So that's one little sequence which we need to repeat. So take a breath in here. Let's go again on the other side. Hands out wide, reach up and overhead. Take your gaze to your palms. As you breathe out, mini back bend. Breathe in, back to center. Breathe out, hands go wide, dive all the way down to the mat. Notice if you're getting a little deeper. Breathing in, hands to the shins, half forward fold. Breathing out, hands to the mat. Plant your fingertips, your hands, bend your knees to allow you to do this. Step your left leg back, then your right, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Push the toes into the mat as you lift the heels. And then drop the heels to the left. Take a breath in. Come back up onto your toes as you center the hips and then drop the heels to the right. Breathing in, come back to center. Breathing out, heels go back to the mat. Taking a breath in, plant that right foot into the mat as you release the left. Breathing in. Shifting the weight forward, knee comes up to the chest, step the foot forward and through. In this low lunge position, and then drop your right knee. Take a breath in, float your hands up alongside your ears. Reaching out of the shoulders, keep the shoulders down. Breathe in. Breathing out, hands back to the mat. Breathe in, breathe out, release back into downward facing dog. Breathing in, walk your feet all the way back to your hands. Uttanasana. Breathing in, hands to the shins, half forward fold. Breathing out, hands back to the mat. Full fold. Breathing in as you take your hands out wide, engage those tummy muscles, reaching up. Fingertips come together. Breathe out. Hands to the heart center. Well done. That's warmed us up. Let's just do a little bit more. So taking a breath in, take your hands up and overhead and interlace the fingers. Point just the first fingers up to the ceiling. So James Bond hands, like a gun. Breathe in. As you breathe out, reaching over towards the right. Nice side bend. Breathe in, back to center. Breathe out, reach to the left. Breathe in, back to center. Breathing out, release. Well done. So come back to the top of your mat, take a breath in, reach your hands up and overhead. And as you breathe out, dive down to the mat, plant your hands, and this time we're going to step back into plank. So from our plank position, we're going to lower to the mat. So your choice, you can put your knees down or you can lower from this position, just bending the elbows back. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, lower to the mat. Breathing in, release the toes, lift the chest, come to cobra pose. Breathing out, lowering down to the mat, toes back into the mat. Breathe in, breathe out, lifting up, downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Breathe in. As you breathe out, just lifting your right knee towards your chest, step it forward and through. Coming into warrior one. So drop that back heel into the mat as you release your arms, lifting up. Warrior one. Nice and strong. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands back to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank. Option to put your knees down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower to the mat. Building your arm strength here. Release your toes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Cobra pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Release to the mat. Toes into the mat. And bring yourself back up. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. And then draw the left knee up towards the chest. Step it forward and through. Drop the right heel into warrior one position. Breathing in. Bringing ourselves up. Warrior one. That's got the heart rate going, isn't it? Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time down to the mat. Hands to the mat. Release the foot back into plank. Take a breath in here, your choice as to how you come down. If you're going to lower in one go, just send those elbows back towards your hips and then lower. Breathing in, cobra pose. Breathing out, toes into the mat. Lift yourself up to downward facing dog. Take a breath. It's a resting pose after all. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and walk your feet all the way to your hands. Drop the head and slowly, slowly come up. Oh, that's made the heart rate rise. Your breath will be a little bit faster. So let's take a breath in here. Let everything settle. before we come down to the mat once more. Taking a breath in, reach your hands up and overhead. And as you breathe out, dive down to the mat. Breathing in, bring your hands to your shins, half forward fold. Breathing out, plant the hands on the mat and step back into plank. And then drop your left knee onto the mat, sort of swivel over to the outside edge of your left foot and the inside of your right foot. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, you're going to release your right hand up to the ceiling. So another little balance. If you find this too much, you can swing that lower leg back behind you. So just take a breath here. And then breathe out. Place the hand back to the mat. Swivel back so that you're in that central position. And step the left leg back to plank. And then drop your right knee. I've got my back to you now. Swivel to the outside edge of the right foot, the inside edge of the left. Just pressing the left hand into the mat as you breathe out. Right arm reaches to the ceiling. A modified side plank. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands back to the mat. Come back to an all fours. Knees wide, toes together. Here it is. Child's pose. Just take a breath. You've worked hard. Taking a breath in here. Let everything settle. Allow your forehead to rest onto the mat or onto your fists if it doesn't quite reach. Just get that connection to trigger your relaxation response. We're not quite done, however. So breathing in, bring yourself back to all fours. Realign your knees, toes into the mat. And as you breathe out, lift your hips and walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Breathing in, come up like a rag doll. Well done. Everyone okay? Yeah, good. So we're just going to do a little balance from here. So stand up straight and tall and take your hands behind your back. So you can put your hands just on your back. You can make reverse prayer. If that's an option for you, you can just put your knuckles together. So you decide. So standing straight and tall. Take a breath in here. Step your left foot back about 3 foot in distance. So not quite as far as when we do our warrior. So both feet are tracking forward. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just folding at the hips. Just come to a flat back to start with. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, maybe you can send your nose a little closer to your knee. So it is a bit of a balance. Keep that right foot pressed down into the mat. Keep breathing. And then release your hands to the mat just in front of your right foot. And just shifting the weight forward, lift the left leg. So we're just doing this version of Warrior 3. And we can stay like this. We could put our hands on a block. We could put our hands on the chair. Or we could see how we're feeling. Do we want to bring one hand up to the thigh? Maybe the other hand comes up to the thigh. Ooh. Just see how you're feeling today. Balance-wise, no, that's not going to work. Maybe your hands can come to the hips. Maybe they can shoot behind you. And then place your hands back, step back into that wide leg position we were in, and lift yourself up. Warrior 1. Breathe in, breathe out, release the hands, step to the top of the mat. Just take a moment. Notice how that right leg and right hip's probably feeling. Quite strong balance. And then we're going to step the right leg back this time. So feet are both pointing forward. Not such a wide stance. Hands sweep behind us. So either reverse prayer on knuckles or hands just on your sacrum area. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, fold forward. Just gaze into the mat. So think more about making some length from the top of your head to your hips rather than folding and putting your nose to your knee. So get that length first. So trying to shoot the head out in front of you. And only then start to fold. And then release the hands to the mat. Just a little bit in front of that left foot. Shift the weight into the left foot and send the right leg out behind you. So stay here. You can bring your hands up on something higher if you wanted. Or maybe your hands will come to your left leg. Oh, balance is not good today. Maybe the hands want to release back behind. Not easy. And then, take your hands back to the mat. Get the grunt with it as well. And then step the foot. Oh, sorry, no. We're going to come up to Warrior 1. Well done. And then take your hands back to the mat. Release into all fours. Knees wide, toes together. Back into our extended child's. Just take a moment here. Let everything settle. That was a tough balance. So probably our breath is a little bit faster. And that, triggers the nervous system to react to something like that. So we want to get back into balance. Go back inward like we did at the beginning. And then bringing yourself up into all fours, release the legs back behind you and sink the hips down to the mat. Slide the hands in front. So your palms are facing down, fingers are spread wide, elbows are under your shoulders. We're in Sphinx pose. Just take a moment here and feel all 10 toes pressing down into the mat. Feel the pubic bone pressing into the mat, just lifting from that area at the front of the chest. Imagine there's a zip there, and you're zipping it up just below your throat. Breathe in, breathe out, release the chest to the mat. Put one hand on top of the other, release the forehead to the hands. Take your heels together, toes out wide. Come into crocodile pose. Just a few breaths here. And then turn and look to the right. So rest in the left side of your head or your cheek on your hands. Take a breath. And then turn and look to the left. And take a breath here. Returning to center. Hands alongside the chest. Legs are back in alignment. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Lift yourself back up to all fours. And then sit back on your heels and release your legs. So from this Dandasana position, just float your hands out in front of you. Nice straight spine. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just gently lay the spine all the way down on the mat. We're going to come into our Shavasana. So find your layers, your blanket, whatever you need, and just stay in Shavasana. Your work is done. So give yourself a few moments to let go. Allow everything to release. Release those muscles that you've just worked really hard. Allow your breath to return to its normal pattern. Lying out in Shavasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose until your breath settles. And then we'll finish where we started. So breathing in through the nose and take a deep breath out through the mouth, through those pursed lips. Almost like you're deflating a balloon. Once more, breathe in and out. Last time. In and out. Take these few moments to allow your body to relax. Releasing from the top of the head, your face, your shoulders, your arms, the whole of the back body, the hips and the legs, all the way down to your feet. So as you lie there, just do a little internal count. As you breathe in, say 1. As you breathe out, say 2. And just keep going for as long as you want to stay there. And I'm going to say namaste and see you next week. Thank you, girls.